Hello, how are you? Here again, in TV Agro. Welcome, my name is Freddy Vargas, owner of Plant-A-Garden Nursery. Today we are going to take a tour of one of the parts of the nursery that I like the most, the trees. Who does not want to have a tree at home every day? We walk down the street, we go to a place in Transmilenio, and we see those colorful trees, high, low, and we breathe that atmosphere when we go jogging many times, and there is always a tree that accompanies us. This is one of the places that I like the most because we found trees of all species, low, medium and giant trees. Now with so much construction, they almost force them to place plants in all the areas, especially the common ones, and we find trees for all the spaces. At the beginning they were not being used much because of the roots, but later the architects found that they could be managed with good containers. They are even being used in the terraces of the buildings. Good trees purify the environment a lot. Besides that, they take away a lot of heat from metallic structures and concrete structures. Plants bring this advantage. They oxygenate and also lower the temperature of the environment. Here in our nursery, we have 14,000 square meters of trees of all species, timber, forest, flowers. Each person who comes looking for something special that are tall and fat for near the house, that produce aroma so that when they bloom they enter their house that aroma and breathe a calm atmosphere. They look for the farms to cover instead of placing a fence now and put so many fences. Instead of making a facade in cement, they make a facade in trees that give them flowers, atmosphere and good oxygen. We have people that with everything that has happened in these days, they are looking to have the memory of their parents, the memory of a friend. They are planting the ashes under a tree that they see it grow and take care of it. In short, a tree has many meanings. Here as much as possible we try to teach each person that enters also the care of the trees. It really is not so complicated. The science of the tree is the initial planting. Make a good hole. The hole should always be larger in diameter than the bag that brings. Apply good irrigation. Fertilize. From then on, it takes about a month and a half of care, while it takes root and begins to live in the environment in which it is being planted. After that, the tree takes care of itself. From time to time we also have to not neglect it and give it a little care such as fertilizing, spraying, pruning it if I want it to grow wider so that it does not grow so much in a rod, but grows wider. We have to give it a little company from time to time. Here in our nursery, we find trees of all species. Here, for example, we have some guayacans of Manizales. These guayacans are bushes that have a big canopy of 234 meters. It all depends on how high you want it to grow, because if it is in the house I will not allow it to grow too high. I can keep them pruned, make figures. There are gentlemen who make little balls, gentlemen who make them in the shape of a triangle. There are some who make them square. Well, it is up to the creativity of the gentlemen of the house or the ladies who like this subject. We also have trees with many flowers. We have the case of the lavender jasmine. We have the yellow shikala, that when they are in the fluorescence season, one sees on the street all that yellow river, that is called yellow shikala, and it is a very nice tree and works very well for the houses. Now that there are so many gated communities and people want to enjoy a little house, we always have a tree either at the entrance of the house or in the back. Here we find, for example, trees like the purple beech trees. They are dark-colored plants. They are like reddish. They give a very jungle atmosphere. They withstand the breeze, they withstand the lack of water, the cold and the low temperatures. It is a tree that withstands very well. This does not mean that sometimes when there is a hailstorm, for example, the trees can be damaged a lot, especially the big-leafed ones. If a hailstorm falls, they usually break or the leaves wear out a lot. But something I have learned from nature is that they are an example of life. The worst can happen, a storm, a hailstorm, a frost, and they come out again. Come back and sprout, come back and bloom, come back and come back to life. It is a supremely strong example of life to follow. Later on I will show you other types of trees that you can use. Here in the nursery, we have very big trees as well as small trees for you to begin to take care of, to grow. In any case, there is a tree for us. Each one has a tree that identifies him. Let's look at more trees. We continue our tour through our nursery with the trees. We are in a section that I love very much. You can hear the noise of the birds. I don't know if you can hear that special melody. For example, these are medium-sized trees called the Butylons. They are trees that bring many flowers almost all the time of the year. Can you see that yellow spot? Those spots are Butylons. It is very rare to see them without flowers. They always need, as all the care, fertilizer, pruning, so that they grow lush and bloom abundantly. Well, if we have a lot of abundance of flowers, we have many advantages for our garden. That is why it is important to always have a tree with good flowers. In the first instance, we get our little animals that we love so much, the bees for example. If we have bees in our crop, we will always have flowers. They are the best pollinators. What better than a good tree for our bees to arrive and keep our garden in bloom? Many birds also arrive. Where there is nature you will always find a bird. It is important to place them from time to time a plate so that the bird gets there to drink water. Another thing we have learned with these trees is to be friendly with nature. Through time we have realized that when we are going to fumigate any garden, outdoors, trees or our gardens, it is better to do it first with natural products, or if we are going to use chemical products we should use them after 3 or 4 in the afternoon, at the time when our predators are going to come out, which is after 4 in the afternoon, and all those that are friendly with us are the ones that are going to take. So, we always advise spraying very late, after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so we are friendly with the environment. We do not harm our animals that give us joy, and we try to fight a little bit against the animals that harm us. Unfortunately, that is not the fact that we have to fumigate our pests because everything is nature and we live with them every day. What we try to do is maybe not to have too many of them, to say something that the moth does not become in the whole environment. We try to control it because we know that it is very difficult to eliminate it. We use many natural products that we sell here, products like citronella and products like garlic. Well, there are many products for that. The idea is to be able to use them more often so that we do not have to go against nature. With you in the house, I already told you the garden is important, every space, whether it is a garden. Whether outdoors or indoors, the tree will always give us a source of fresh air. You will feel a change, you will feel a total change. Especially in the complexes where many trees are planted, is where you can feel the tranquility, the change of the breeze, the oxygenation, and the animals. What else can I tell you? That's all for today, the topic of trees and plants. We hope to meet again. My name is Freddy Vargas from Planta Center Nursery. We are located at kilometer 5.5 via Suba. See you later.